Good morning, 20s. All right. It's been a big one. Last night, yesterday, was a doozy. Let's see what the Divine Masculine has to say about that. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I shared about what happened last night. If you're interested, go ahead and check that out. I also posted it in the community tab on my YouTube channel. You can also find my YouTube channel on my page here. I'm also having a sale on my one-to-one 60-minute reading. So if you are interested in grabbing one of those at a discounted rate for the holidays, then head to the link in my bio. Okay. So some of you might be feeling something happened yesterday, last night, the last couple of days, or something might be happening today. Don't worry. If it hasn't, just let it be what it is. This is actually a period of growth and success. Your Divine Masculine wants you to know that. You guys are having heavy third eye chakra upgrades, but also you're not seeing things clearly right now. So please do not worry about what it is you are seeing and you know, like, how could this possibly be a moment of success and growth? Divine Masculine, what are you talking about? You're not seeing things properly. You are going to be having some third eye chakra upgrades. Your Divine Masculine wants you to know that this is all about love. This is simply coming back to love. A lot of you have a lot of trauma, okay? And the people that I read for, because I myself have a lot of trauma. I have PTSD, complex PTSD. I have all of these things from my childhood, from past relationships, a lot of trauma, and no one ever talks about having trauma within the lens of twin flame. And I think that is where a lot of the work and a lot of the healing needs to begin, okay, through a trauma-informed lens. And that's why I put a lot of emphasis on myself being trauma-informed, so that, because I know there are a lot of twin flames that are traumatized, that have deep, heavy trauma, and it's especially relational trauma. And it's hard to navigate this journey if we don't understand that what's happening to us is happening from a place of trauma, okay? So Divine Masculine here wants Divine Feminines to know that you guys are still successful, you guys are still growing, and Divine Feminine, you having a trauma response or you reacting in a certain way, not being able to in that moment, because this was a very deep trigger. There was no way. You are a traumatized person. There is no way you were able to navigate it or handle it any differently, okay? You need to be more gentle with yourself. Your Divine Masculine doesn't hold that against you, even if in the 3D they might be detached. They're processing, okay? They're processing that they put you in a situation that traumatized you, or that, not that they didn't traumatize you, sorry, that they brought up something, they triggered you in a certain way. This situation, it was no one's fault. It's just a very normal reaction to an old wound, Divine Feminine. They're wanting you to know that you guys aren't moving backwards, you guys aren't regressing, you guys have made so much progress, even if it's just like individually. When you make progress individually within yourself, you make progress in your connection, okay? So please don't think that you've gone and fucked it up, or you've gone and ruined it. Like, your Divine Masculine really doesn't want you to think that. Especially because yesterday, like, my Divine Masculine was so loving and so open, and he was in such a good mood. He went and, got some of my last minute Christmas presents that he hadn't had a chance to grab yet, and he was obviously excited and feeling in love. And I feel like, and I love receiving him in that way. And now, I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to be completely open and transparent. Now part of me is scared that because of what happened last night, he was obviously triggered too, and I was obviously triggered. I'm worried that I have ruined that for myself. And let's see what the Divine Masculine has to say. I feel like a lot of you guys are wondering and feeling that same way in regards to a reaction that you've had or something. Control. And observe. they're trying to control themselves in this situation. They're trying to control the situation when it comes to themselves in a certain way. But they're wanting you to know that they are observing. They're aware that they are trying to control their own sense of like trying not to get hurt or trying not to feel triggered or hurt. They had been. That's why they might have been a little standoffish, or you might have sensed their energy shift in some kind of way. But they want you to know that they're observing this situation now. And they are definitely working towards moving into a sense of flow. They're in a flow state, okay? Just as you are. Yeah, they're releasing that. They're releasing the need to control the narrative and to control how they feel by being withdrawn or cut off, or do you know what I mean? So they might have seemed like it was going that way a bit. So your fears are valid, but it's not going to turn out that way, okay? So please don't worry. This is sacral chakra energy that's happening here. This is that life force energy of them being so excited and childlike and loving, and just that excitement. That's like this sacral energy. It's like creative energy, like excited for the future, excited for what's like for the holidays, excited for whatever. Too many, just one at a time, please, Spirit. They're releasing the need to sort of like control that, and they're allowing that to be more in flow. If we look at this card, right, this is a divine masculine. There's lots of orange. Sacral chakra energy, that excitement energy is orange, but he's also, this guy here, he's got this like orange sash. It's going across his body, which means that he's in flow. He's in tune with this sacral energy. And this divine masculine that we're talking about here is way more in touch and in flow with their sacral energy than they ever have been. So this is going to be something that's going to be a lot easier for them to tap back into. And we've got joy and stability. That's that energy. That's that energy of tapping back into that joy and stability. Okay, so please, divine feminine, if you were worried about that, the divine masculine is here is wanting you to know, don't be. Awaiting results. Choose your battles. Okay, so when you solar plexus chakra. Okay, dreams coming true. All right, so divine masculine is saying now, don't wait for them to come to you in that energy. Be confident in yourself and choose your battles. Don't consciously go and like pick a fight, or, oh, you were so loving yesterday, like where's that gone, like what's happened. Like they're allowed to be how they are. They're allowed to feel how they feel. If they're not feeling that way today, that's their prerogative. It's 11:11 as I'm saying this, and for good reason. They're a human being, and they don't always have to be this pillar of light for you, divine feminine. And that's something I'm telling myself too, because I often feel really shit. I feel like I'm being punished, or like it's being taken away from me, that energy, when he's not okay with himself, when he's having a bad day, or you know what I mean. And it's not even about me. It's because I'm too focused on my train of thought just went completely. I started thinking about something else. My ADHD is through the roof today. No, okay. I think I was saying something about how he focused on how he is toward me. And he's just a person. So we need to stop reacting to the divine masculine as, you know, that everything is an assault on us. They are just a person living their life, and they're not always going to be able to come toward you in a way that you like. Why? Because they're human. So in saying that, divine feminine, have a little faith today in your masculine. Have a little faith. We are going to see. Have a little faith, because they're saying they're here. The divine masculine is reassuring you success and growth, right? You're going to start to see this clearly, that you're going to start to see everything through the lens of love. Just focus on love. Choose only love. Just choose it. Even when you don't think it's an option there to be chosen from in any given moment, just choose it. Instead of choosing that, I choose this, I choose to accept that, anxiety, or I choose to do something about this, or just choose love. Just choose love, okay? So the Eight of Pentacles is there. What else, divine masculine, do you want us to know about this whole situation, please? Seven of Swords. Yeah, this is about like the Divine Masculine is saying, don't abandon yourself. And I'm not abandoning you. So you might be feeling abandoned. You might have an abandonment wound. Page of Cups. There is repair coming though. There is a sense of, so this, if you guys are in disrepair, there is repair coming. The both of you having conversations or just talking in a way that repairs things. Or this is just talking about good news, lighthearted news, lighthearted conversations. Going back to a form of communication that you enjoy, that you feel secure with, that you... And there's also a need to like stop thinking that everything, like every situation that you face when it comes to your twin flame connection is like either good or bad. I do that a lot, like black and white thinking. I think that's because I'm autistic, but last night what happened, it's not a bad thing, but to me, I'm deeming it as a bad thing, and I'm deeming it as I've ruined things or blah, blah, blah. I just reacted from a place of trauma. That's it. And it doesn't have to mean anything substantial. And this is what happens after union, guys. Like, people don't understand, like, whether you're in union or not, whether you're with your person or not, like, I don't even think the whole idea of union is something that is so concrete. Like, because once you get in a relationship with your counterpart and you've been together for a couple of years, like, shit's still gonna come up. You're in a relationship. You are two human beings in a relationship, navigating this world the way it is, navigating your pasts. It's not, and I'm sorry to say, but it's not, once you get in union, it's not like sunshine and rainbows. It is sometimes, absolutely, but all the time it's not. It just can't be. Why? Because we're human beings. And I think for me, for the first, I want to say, year and a half of this relationship, I thought that, yes, I found my person, and yes, I found my twin, and blah, blah, blah. It was all going to be smooth sailing. And it was for a long time. But I soon realized, and I just realized this recently, I had been treating this relationship as though it was the thing that would save me. And my perception of it completely shattered. My perception of him as my divine masculine completely shattered when I realized he's just a human being. I'm just a human. Like, I knew I was, but I had him on such a high pedestal because I knew we were twin flames, and because he was, you know, the healthiest person that I've ever been with, and we have such a healthy relationship. But I couldn't understand, if we have such a healthy relationship, why do I have all these traumas and all these triggers coming up, and why am I noticing them and realizing them for the first time? Well, because it's a healthy relationship. Your body doesn't recognize it. And that is where the work begins, guys. And I'm sorry, but the real work begins when you guys are in union. I feel like the divine masculine is really wanting me to share this right now. The real work begins when you guys are in union. Why? Because you have the groundwork, you have the foundation, you have the container and the space to navigate those things together. And what does that look like? That doesn't always look like, come on, babe, like, let's do this, we can do this. A lot of the time it's not. A lot of the time it's I trigger you, you trigger me. At the same time, sometimes it's I trigger you. Other times it's you trigger me. And it's working through those triggers, understanding those triggers, where they've come from. Like last night, for example, if you read my post on Instagram or on YouTube, I spiraled. I didn't realize, but my body felt like I was back in my karmic relationship, where for 6 whole years, I was never considered. That person did not have my best interest at heart. So I didn't realize, and against everything that I know and everything that I logically am aware of, I was viewing George as that person that he doesn't. I was assuming he didn't have my best interest at heart. I was assuming something was a certain way that it wasn't. And it was a huge misunderstanding, but we both left that 212. We both left that both feeling very triggered. We've got the 2 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. Your divine masculine wants you guys to know that you both are on this like new path. Like you've walked into a new part of your connection, of your relationship, that you are still learning and learning how to harness. Okay, so it's already happened. You guys have already walked into this space of being more loving, being more open, being more like choosing connection. But there's patience needed, because you're not just because you've managed to get to this place, or this new place, it doesn't mean, just because you've been able to get to this new place, it doesn't mean that you are able to just click your fingers and like, this takes a little bit of practice is what I'm saying. Like, I think this is why that situation, Spirit brought that situation to us last night, or the Divine Masculine did, because we needed to learn how, even in conflict, even in moments where we both feel wronged, because I think we both felt wronged. I felt like he wasn't choosing me. He wasn't considering my past a very serious... When I say this was a huge trigger for me, a huge wound for me, I'm talking about like the potentiality of, like, I thought that he was going to go and hang out with my abuser. And he wasn't at all. He just was in conversation telling me how they were back, and because they're through mutual friends of ours and stuff, they're a friend of other people's and whatever, and he was invited to go hang out. I'll just share. I scoffed and was like, well, no. And I can't remember what he said, but I was like, well, are you going? And he goes, well, no, but it sounds like you've already made that decision for me. And then he felt like his autonomy was being taken away, which it wasn't, because I didn't make that decision. I thought it was a given based on what this person had done to me. Can you see what I mean? Like, something of this stature, but he wasn't thinking of that. He probably didn't even remember that. And then I brought up to him, I was like, well, I thought it was a given that you wouldn't go, because considering that this person SA'd me. And then it was silence. It was like radio silence. He was obviously like, oh fuck. And trying to process that, but he still felt like I was assuming. He cannot stand when people assume things, which is fine. But I have a lot of trauma, so a lot of the times I do assume things until I'm in a situation where that person that I'm with or shows me otherwise. That will be my default unless you show me otherwise. And that's, I think, what we're still navigating. But so, and then I was hurt because I was instantly triggered and was like, oh my God, like, he's considering that, blah, 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 because of what he said. Like, it sounds like you've made that decision for me. When I've never done that. I've never wanted to, but I guess you could say technically in a way I had, but it wasn't based off of a sense of me feeling like it was up to me. It was more like based on the way that he feels about this person, the way that I feel about this person, the way, what this person, based on what this person had done to me, that it was a given that he wasn't going. And then, it wasn't that he was going, he wasn't. But him bringing up that about his autonomy, I assumed that was him considering it. Or I felt like that was him considering it. It seemed as though. And it was a completely miscommunication, but I still was extremely triggered by that. And we didn't get to really talk about it because he was going to sleep. It was late. He had to get up really early for work. It's a mess still, but it takes patience. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I think the Divine Masculine is saying, this is what you guys are. We are in this new space, twins. We are in this new space. Things have changed. Things are different. We are learning. We've learned that in moments like this, we need to choose love. So are you going to choose love in these moments? Right now, I'm choosing love. I'm choosing to, against what my body wants, I am choosing to assume something new. Assume in favor of him instead of against him. That he had considered that he didn't want to go there, that he does have my best interests at heart. Look at this, a new path is unraveling, even through the stress, even through the depression. This was literally me this morning or last night. Victory and success after something big happened. There's a Queen of Wands. Okay, so after something big had happened, or something happens, or something blows up, or you find yourself triggered, this is very much like a trigger. You are overcoming this together if you choose love. This is about choosing love. Choosing love. Both people here are choosing love equally, okay? But it takes some practice. You both need to practice. And if you choose love, then your masculine will choose love. If your counterpart, let me say, because I don't know who I'm speaking to, whether it's a divine feminine or a divine masculine. It doesn't really matter. If it's resonating, it's resonating, right? It takes practice. And just because you guys have been in this space of being able to be more loving and choose love, it doesn't mean that you are perfect at choosing love even in these moments. And this is what this third eye chakra is trying to tell us. We're not seeing things clearly because of our trauma, because of pain, and that is normal. But it doesn't have to always be our normal. Look at this. 10 of Pentacles, King of Swords. Okay, this for me is very symbolic. My divine masculine is an Aquarius, and he always comes up as the King of Swords for me. So I feel like this is him telling me, tell them, the divine masculine, me, the divine masculine, I'm in this for the long haul. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be divine feminine. You wouldn't be and feel so connected to your divine masculine, regardless of what the 3D looks like. Regardless, even if you haven't talked in 10 years, you feel that connection. That connection is authentic. They feel it too because you do. So divine masculine is saying to you today, you would not be in this connection with me. You would not still feel this way about me if I wasn't in this too. If I wasn't in this connection just as much as you are. I am here for the long haul. I'm here for the end. This is end game. I'm here for the end of time. I'm investing everything into this connection. Don't think that I could just throw it away like that. Because of what? Because you get triggered because you've been through a fuckload in your life and in your childhood and you've been mistreated, that I'm just going to go and throw you away as damaged goods because sometimes it feels annoying. You're not an inconvenience. You're not. And this is about, I haven't even touched on the shame and guilt that we feel as traumatized people for having reactions like that. And that is something that I'm still feeling a lot of right now. I feel a lot of shame and a lot of guilt for having even viewed him that way, because I don't know that he understands fully that it's not him that I was viewing that way. It was the situation I was viewing through that lens of people in the past choosing themselves over me or not considering me, or you know what I mean? So there's a lot of shame and guilt there, and the divine masculine wants you to know nothing can ruin what we have. Nothing. Not even your PTSD, not even your trauma, not even your triggers, not even your pain. Nothing. I am here. I'm just as in this. So if you were wondering, divine feminine, after whatever happened between you, they are in this just as much as you are. Divine masculine, what else do you want us to know? King of Cups. They might not be showing it right now. Why aren't you showing it? What's going on with you? They're gaining clarity. They're waiting for answers. They are processing. And they will. I'm hearing, I haven't told you lately. I haven't told you in a while. But there is nothing that you could possibly do to make me want to give up. Yes. 7 of Cups, 4 of Wands. They are releasing their own. They are releasing and collapsing their own distortions on relationship. But they are, right now, they are in favor of relationship. They're not wanting this to end. Just like they're not, their mind's not even there, divine feminine. Their mind is not even there. Oh, I'm actually getting a little bit of what do you think that of me? Like, do you think so little of me, so low of me, that I am someone who just gives up? That I am someone who would do that to you? That I'm someone who wouldn't want to work through this? And the answer, divine masculine, is yes. It's not because of anything lacking within you, but because of lacking what we've been shown before. So Divine Masculine, you must show us that you're not going to give up. Show us that you're stable, and they're saying I am. Show us that you're committed. Remove our fears. Reassure us. Look at this, Ace of Pentacles. The Divine Masculine is preparing something here. Preparing some sort of commitment, or like show of commitment or something. I'm here, like, this is sort of like the Divine Masculine is saying, you're going to see just how much I care about you. Just how much. You'll soon know. Five of Swords. Four of Cups. You think, oh my God, exactly. Okay, so they're saying so something's happening, they're preparing something. It's around Christmas time, birthdays are coming up, whatever it is. The Divine Masculine is actually preparing a way to show you how solid you guys are and how deeply committed they are. They're going to show you physically somehow. And just when you think that they are in conflict, or when they're giving up, or that they're sort of like withdrawn and stuck, what about that? You're going to be very pleasantly surprised, I think, Divine Feminine. Like, you're going to be shown the complete opposite of what you're expecting. So if you start to sort of think that, like, they're acting sus, like, I'm just going to be real. For a lot of you, they're getting ready to propose. So when they seem like sus, that's what that is. And you're going to be shown very, very quickly just how wrong you are sometimes. And you might be someone who's never wrong. You might be someone who, unfortunately, is always proven right. Not when it comes to your twin. This is something that you're going to be able to let go of. You're going to be able to be pleasantly surprised. Tell us about this Ace of Pentacles. Some of you guys are getting married.